Hello, 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 my friends and relations. I hope you're doing wonderful. I've been thinking of y'all, and it's been a while since I posted anything that I wanted to share. I came to USA coming up near a month ago, at the end of April. Was able to celebrate my mother's birthday with her. Just amazing to think about my parents and me, everyone growing older and getting to ages that I just don't even think about them being at. It's amazing. But yeah, I've been living here with my father in my childhood home, and it has been a challenge and a practice for sure. As I knew that it had the potential to, but I was curious to see how it would be, and it's been quite interesting as I'm at a place where I'm less controlled by emotions, I'm less reactive, I'm more able to step back and observe my responses or my feelings or my actions and others. But I'm still at a place where there are some deep-seated unconscious soft spots, sensitive areas in my psyche, and attachments to stories about who people are, how they're acting, or what is fair or right, or the way to be treated, or strong attachments to that. It's always been a practice a lot for acceptance and loving my parents as they are, and not taking personal whatever happens, and believing and trusting and giving them the love, and knowing that just like I am, they're doing the best that they're capable of doing right now. And that's all it is. It's not personal. But I've been fully focused on that these weeks. So I have thought of posting something, but just haven't felt the bandwidth, and I haven't felt the time was fitting. But I do want to share something that for me is very important, and that is to thank India and all of the hundreds of people that I have been so blessed to become friends with and to share a part of their life, and they share in mine. I went to India at the end of 2019, initially to get the experience of having several months strictly focused on volunteering. I wanted to get this experience. I've done volunteering in the past, but it's always been on the side, doing Big Brothers Big Sisters for many years and volunteering at different places, but it's always been on the side while I was working. And I wanted to get the experience of just being focused on assisting others without money coming into the process whatsoever. So that was my thinking. I was just going to be there for a few months and then come back and continue with this plan that I had for life. So I was thinking I would be back in April, but life had a different plan and it knew best. And so after 7 weeks or so of doing that volunteering, COVID began spooling up, and then it looked like country was going into lockdown. So I moved, and country did go into lockdown, and then from then on, it was just experience after experience and blessing after blessing, really taking me to places that I never expected, externally and internally. And really, I couldn't have planned it better if I tried. I couldn't even come close to have planned it better if I tried. I'm very thankful that I have been, over these recent years, very intentionally working to reduce my need to control things through planning and logic and figuring out what to do. And I've been very much working to increase my faith in myself, my intuition, my sensitivity to my intuition, my ability to hear and see the guideposts that I believe are always there, but that most of us are not comfortable following because we feel such fear about letting go and going with the energy, and instead we want to plan it out, or we're just so conditioned to believe that there's just one way to do things, which is the way that we've been told and the way that everyone else is doing. So I have been practicing that, but then being in India, it's just a fantastic environment for that, because there's just so much going on all the time, and it's a very powerful place. It's a very fluid place. Things do not stay stable. And so it was just a very fantastic environment to be in at the place that I was. And it's such a deeply spiritual place. I'm not speaking about specific religion, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Sikh, any of these specifically. It's just a place with deep spiritual focus. And it's been deep spiritual focus for so many thousands of years that it's like just being, it's just very conducive to that. And I was intentionally going there without planning to dive into spirituality, because at the time I was doing the thing that I have often done in the past. Oh, I'm too cool for that. Everyone says that they go to India and their life changes and they become whatever, and I'm too cool for that. That's a trope. I'm not going to do that. But thankfully, India knew best, and thankfully I was open after several months of being there to letting go of those judgments and those plans and just flowing with whatever arose. And it was just so fantastic, and it built upon itself so well, so much beyond what I would ever have expected. So I'm very, very, very thankful for India, and it wouldn't be India without all of the people, I had thought about thanking people specifically, but honestly, there are so many people, and each one has been so special and so invaluable in my life. I don't want it to seem as if I give weight or value to someone over someone else. I'm very appreciative for the culture of India, which was demonstrated to me through the individual actions of each person that I met, which is just loving and generous and welcoming of strangers. I learned so much about acceptance of others. I learned so much about so many things. Just being in that culture and experiencing the innumerable small things that it can't even consciously label or identify. They're just the thread, the fabric of life there. It's not about comparison between USA or Spain or Europe or Thailand or South America or India. It's not about comparison as far as which one is better or something like that. I don't get down with that personally. I don't find value in that. I found that to be harmful. But I do really find value in being in environments that are different from the ones that I am used to, and seeing the way people live in ways that are different from what I have been living. Seeing what else is possible besides the way that I have been interacting with people for the majority of my life. And you see that It's very possible to have interactions with people, to think about people unconsciously, automatically, think about people, view them as in a different way than the way that you have always seen them, viewed them, grown up thinking about them. I'm very grateful to have been in India during this time of COVID, which for so much of the world was a very challenging and traumatic experience. And for me and the people that I was with throughout the country, the majority of the time, although there were great challenges and there continue to be, to be in a culture and a community and see how people can be faced with life and death, but they're at a place where even if they're not consciously aware of it, they're at a place where they view things like life and death differently. It's not necessarily something to be hidden or denied or avoided or almost like thought about shamefully, as can sometimes occur in other cultures that I've experienced. And so with that, there's less fear, there's less divisiveness. It was a very peaceful, there were some challenges for sure, but the majority of the time it was really fantastic to be able to experience a culture go through such a challenging thing and see how they were capable of supporting each other, but really just continuing on with life, saying, okay, yes, this is potential danger. Okay, yes, let's take precautions, let's be aware of the potentials, but let's not allow an external thing to impact our internal experience. Let's just adjust and move forward. There's so much that I could share, and I don't want to just make this about me. I'm just very thankful. And I very much, there's no doubt in my mind, do I intend to go back? People always ask me this now. And it's funny because to me, it's just like, is grass green? Is the sky blue? Like, yes, obviously I do. But they have not had my experience. And so from the outside, it's like we are used to in the US and in many places all over the world, we're used to going somewhere and coming back. We think of wherever we were born as the place that we're supposed to be at, and so we may go other places, but it's just for a vacation, generally for a week or two, and it's just kind of to do something different. It's not even like it's really life. It's like, let's step out of life and go do something, and then we come back to it. For the past several years, I've been shifting that. For the past coming near a handful of years, I'm not interested in living like that. So currently I'm here in the United States with my parents, and after this time I don't know where I will be, but I definitely expect that India will continue to be a part of my life. There are 15 months, I really just scratched the surface, and there are some things that I'm very much interested in diving deeper in. But now is the time for here. And it's so wonderful to be in the spring here. I have not been here in any season outside of Christmas time since I graduated from university about 14 years ago. So it's lovely to be, there's such beauty here. Green, forest, grass. I mean, goodness, we are blessed in the United States. When I got back, I was just like, holy smokes, there's just so much space, Like there's just so much space. You just would not see that at all in India. Anything that I just shared. It's so clean, it's so quiet, It's so green. Yeah, we're blessed, but we're blessed everywhere. What I would like to do, and I would love anyone's assistance with this, is in a few weeks I'd like to go to a cabin in the woods, ideally here in Michigan, but if not, somewhere else. And I'd like to be in the cabin for several months. Really, I'd like to go into darkness after a while, but I'd like to be just in nature, secluded nature, just being with nature for a while. Nothing to do, just meditating, being in nature, becoming a part of nature again instead of being separated from it, and just enjoying this beauty and awesomeness. So if you happen to know of anywhere, please let me know. I would love that. Talk to you later. I love you guys. I think of you. Thank you again, India. Thank you again, all my friends. Jai Ho. Blessings. Namo Buddhaya. Namaste. Namaskar.